Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I am doing some meal prep because yesterday I was fighting off a migraine all day. We had basically leftovers. I have some eggs here that need to get used up, and you know what? I'm a convert to the pressure cooker or the Instant Pot method. I have about 10 eggs in here. I'm going to add a little bit of water. We're going to put the cover on my Instant Pot, okay, and I'm going to turn off, keep warm. We are going to pressure cook. Where's my pressure cook? Pressure cook for 5 minutes. I have no venting because I'm going to let it slow vent for 4 minutes once I'm done, and then I will go ahead and release the steam. But when I was going through my freezer, remember I look for anything that's freezer burned. Well, I noticed that this pack of chicken had lost its vacuum and it's just barely getting a little freezer burned. So I'm going to make sure I use this up. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to poach them this morning. So I have my liquid in here and I'm just going to add whatever kind of seasonings just to give it some flavor. So I have a bunch of garlic powder that I'm going to add. I have some dried minced onions. You don't have to use your good onions for that. A couple little red pepper flakes. I don't like it real spicy. I have some pepper here. Let me get that open real quick. And some Italian seasoning. And of course some salt. Okay, so that's just a matter of now putting my chicken in there. I'm going to bring this up to temperature, and then you want to simmer it real slow and low so they absorb some of those flavors and don't overcook. And I'm going to then cool it for dinner later, which is going to use up some of those eggs that I just boiled. So anyway, that's my second prep for this morning. All right, the next thing I'm doing today is, this is left over from a few nights ago, so nobody's eating it. I want to make sure that it doesn't go to waste, so I'm just going to put it in the freezer. And I have a bit of my lemon rice left, so that's going in the freezer. And I have some pumpkin soup in there, so now it's a nice variety. I could pull out something for lunch or dinner, especially like if I have another migraine like I did yesterday, and have a quick meal. I just zap it in the microwave for a few minutes and I have a meal ready to go. So this is another way to, really reduce your food waste, but you have to put it on a list to make sure you use it up. I try to use it up within a month. I don't want it any longer in my freezer because then it gets lost towards the back. So put it on a list of use it up within this month. The month of March, I want to try to get this soup used up. Today, for my first meal of the day, it's going to be more of a brunch because it's already after 11. I'm making some of the turkey sausage that I made up. It's in a previous video. And I'm going to make 2 of those. I'm on Weight Watchers. That's why you see where it says 1 point for each. So that's 2 points for me. Weight Watchers doesn't cost anything for eggs. I'm going to see if I have any bread. I'll have a couple slices of toast and just a tiny bit of the whipped butter for my first meal of the day. So that's where we're starting with today. Okay, I'll show you full meal number 1. This is my breakfast. I have the 2 sausage patties, the turkey sausage, 2 eggs, 2 pieces of toast. I have the chicken cooling that I poached. And for snack, I am going to use some zucchini pineapple that I canned 3 years ago. Basically, it's from the Ball recipe book. It's cubed zucchini, and you can it in pineapple juice, and it tastes very, very much like pineapple. So that's going to be my snacks today because I have some of that to use up as well. Right, so for dinner tonight, I have a bunch of these cans of potatoes that I haven't used up. I have 4 or 5 of these. Well, I opened 2 cans, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to season these up, and I'm going to put them in the air fryer for dinner tonight. And I thought I could hold 2 cans, but I have kind of a lot left there. So I think I have another idea for those. So I'm going to go ahead and season these up. I'm going to spray them with a little avocado oil or olive oil, whichever one I have in the spray bottle. I'm going to add some salt and pepper, little garlic, little onion, maybe everything bagel seasoning. That might be good. And then I'm going to stick these in the air fryer, and then I'm going to continue on with the rest of what I'm making for dinner tonight. All right, while those are cooking, I'm going to make up some quick deviled eggs to go with our dinner tonight. Because I told you guys, I have a bazillion eggs. And no matter how fast I'm using them, I'm just not using them up fast enough. So I'm just going to put them in this little bowl. I make my deviled eggs pretty simple. This is the way my family likes them. Basically, I'm going to pop out the yolks. I'll get that done real quick here. Okay, the rest of my ingredients are really, oops, I need that knife. Oh well. I'm just going to mash up my yolks. I mean, I'm sure you guys all have your own deviled egg recipes, but this is the way my family likes them, and I'm asked to bring them all the time to different parties and such. So this is the way I make them. I'll show you my method. Okay, I just mash those up. Now my secret is, I'm running out, horseradish. This is a horseradish that I just buy it at Walmart. It's already ground up and everything. And I put a good teaspoon or so into my eggs. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of spicy brown mustard. You can use regular mustard if you don't have it. I've used both. And then I'm going to mix that up real quick. And then I'll add a little bit of mayonnaise, just enough to make it so they're nice and creamy. Then I fill my eggs, and you can add salt and pepper, but usually with the mustard and the horseradish, I don't have to worry about that. Let me grab it. I want to wipe this spoon off. I don't want to put my horseradish spoon into my mayonnaise. So I'm just going to take a good dollop of mayonnaise. A lot of times I make my own, but I haven't been eating much mayonnaise. So I just bought that light mayonnaise. Because I think I told you guys I've been on Weight Watchers, so I just try to use it sparingly because I'm trying to get off another 25 to 30 pounds. And it's going slow, but hey, in less than a year I lost 80 pounds, so I can be happy with what I have. And this is it. I'm just going to stuff my eggs like you normally do. I like to get this, I'm going to mash it for a minute here because I want it nice and creamy. I don't like lumpies in it, especially if I'm serving it to company. If you like, you could put paprika on it. The guys here don't care for the paprika, so I just do regular eggs. This is going to add to our dinner tonight, and I'm going to finish these off, and then I'm going to show you the next part. All right, I decided since I had those potatoes out and everything to make potato salad, I'm turning them into a potato salad. So I'm going to add some salt. To these I definitely salt, and I need to find my pepper. Be careful with this pepper. It pours out of here like crazy, so oop, I just don't like a lot of pepper in our potato salad. And then sometimes I use the horseradish, but I'm not going to use that today. I do use my mustard, my spicy brown mustard. I had an extra egg and an egg white that I had boiled. My dogs love the yolks, so I gave them one of the yolks. Put a good dollop of the spicy mustard in there. And again, good dollop of mayonnaise. You could thin it out with a little water if you want to. I usually don't. Sometimes I do. Usually I don't. And then I just mix it all together, and the guys can either eat this with dinner tonight, but since we're already having potatoes, I might just save it for tomorrow. You can always eat it with a sandwich or something like that. So I'm going to finish this up so you don't have to watch me mix it. But I'll finish that up, and I'll show you everything once I get done. All right, you might be able to tell I kind of have a theme going today. The potato salad wasn't planned, but the deviled eggs were, and I'm making a chicken salad. So this is the chicken that I poached, and I let it cool off, and I added some onions that I had frozen, and the rest of my celery I had frozen here. So basically what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do this where you have to watch me. I'm going to chop this up into little cubes, and then I'm going to add, again, mayonnaise and the brown mustard. So let me get chopping here. Okay, I'm going to tell you, the guys here are really picky, so I'm just making them my very base chicken salad, which I have chicken. Of course, the chicken's been seasoned when I cooked it, and you know, it works really good if you have leftover chicken. You could pick off, you know, a carcass, or you can use chicken leg quarters. Anything like that works really good for this. So don't think you have to poach your chicken. You know, if you buy a rotisserie chicken and you want to use it for something different after the first meal, go ahead and make some chicken salad. So this is my base recipe, right? So I'm going to mix this all together. That was just the spicy mustard, onions. To be honest, if my brother knew there was celery in here, he probably wouldn't want it, but that's too bad. There's not much in there, and it's softer because it was frozen. All right. Now this is what the guys will eat. Mine, I add a couple of things that I like to it. So I'm going to take a portion of this out. Of course, I'm going to check this before I serve it for seasonings. I just don't want to take the time to do that right this second. So I'm going to take out my portion here. About, that looks pretty good to me. All right. So I have the same thing, except I like fruit in mine. And I don't have any fresh fruit in the house. I prefer fresh because it gives that little bit of crunch. I don't have it. So these are some grapes that were given to me that I canned last year or the year before. I don't remember anymore. It's been a while. I think I did it last year. And I'm going to add some grapes to it. You could add raisins if you like. I prefer either fresh grapes, or I love chopped apple in mine. Adds that little bit of sweetness. It bulks it out a little bit, and it just makes it taste better in my opinion. So I'm going to add some of the grapes that I have here. And then I'm going to add that crunch factor, some sliced almonds. I bought these for my parrot, and she doesn't like almonds for some reason, so I find ways to use them up. I'm just going to crush them up a little bit and add them to my portion so that it adds a little something extra to it. And that's the nice thing about, you know, when you think of recipes, think about what you have. You don't have to say, oh, I can only serve it with fresh grapes, or I can only serve it with an apple. If you don't have spicy brown mustard, you can use just mayonnaise and throw in other things that you like. But either way, it's going to be a good meal. Now I can simply put this in a wrap. I can make a sandwich out of it, whatever you like. I'm going to taste it for some seasoning here. Could use a little salt. I'm going to add a couple more grapes because I like it that way. Now my potatoes were cooking for 15 minutes, and I got all this done in 15 minutes because I had it prepped ahead of time. And there you go. So I'm going to check the boys for seasoning. I think I might add a few more almonds just because I like them and I have them. Don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. The worst that can happen is, you know what, if it tasted horrible, I could rinse all that stuff off and reuse my chicken. I wouldn't have to waste it, or I could add something else to it that I really liked. So, there's my chicken salad. And I'll just put a plate together and I'll show you what everything looks like. All right, finally, I had to put the potatoes in for another 10 minutes, but they are nice and crispy. So here's my dinner. I did take a little dollop of potato salad. That's the zucchini pineapple that I made. I had some for lunch, but that's also vegetable. I was munching on carrot sticks with the dogs while I was waiting for the potatoes. So those are gone. My deviled eggs and my chicken salad. So that's what we're having tonight. Not sure if the boys will eat the potato salad. If not, I'll save it for tomorrow and I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that. And I forgot to tell you guys, I strained the liquid from poaching the chicken. So now I have 1.5 pints of the chicken broth to use as well. So that's going to be our meals today. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And maybe if you have a completely different recipe, you can share that with me as well. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic night.